interrupted, but it's been a year and 4 months since I accidentally gave birth in my living room, and that means that I've had a lot of time to think about this labor and delivery, and I have a lot of strong emotions that go with this labor. Obviously, we welcomed our son, so there's a lot of positive feelings, but I also have a lot of negative feelings about how everything went down, and there's a lot of things that I wish I could go back and change, or a lot of things that I wish went differently. So in this video, I'm sure you saw by the title, these are going to be the 5 things that I regret about my accidental home birth. For starters, the number one thing that I regret about my home birth was my children not being in the room. My husband, we're common law married. We've been together for 14 years, but we're not officially married on paper or anything like that. He was on the phone with my mom, who was on her way here to watch the kids so we could leave to go to the hospital, and she didn't make it in time, but she had said to him while we were on the phone, as soon as she could hear that I was transitioning and that she could tell the baby was coming, behind the scenes, she's been a labor and delivery nurse for a long time, she yelled and said to him to get the kids upstairs, and he obliged. I wish that we would have discussed this more. I thought he knew my stance, maybe because he wasn't sure how he was mentally going to help me bring this baby into the world, just the two of us. It kind of freaked him out, but I would have loved for the kids to be downstairs. They didn't get to come back downstairs until we were almost ready to leave for the hospital, and there was just a lot of blood. There was people all over the place. There was just a baby there, and it was a really smooth, perfect delivery that would have been so wonderful for them to be in the room. I had minimal pain. I had minimal pushing. It was just an ideal delivery for them to have experienced. My second regret was not having a midwife. So I already knew that I labored fast. My first labor was 11 hours, but I had back labor, and I also had the epidural, which slows down your labor. So that's why that labor, I believe, was so long. With my second, her labor was a little over, actually, I want to say her labor was 4 hours from start to finish. With my third, her labor was 2.5 hours from start to finish. And with the fourth, my labor was 45 minutes from the first contraction to pulling him out in my arms in the living room. So I wish I would have just spent the extra money and had a midwife, because had I had a midwife here with me at the house, I just feel like things would have been smoother. I would have felt less rushed, less emergency, and we would have had a professional guiding us on the phone who was comfortable with us delivering at home. So my third biggest regret was calling the paramedics. And I know this might ruffle some feathers, people might really disagree with this, but from the moment that we called the paramedics, they gave us false information over the phone. I'm so upset. I was not in the right mind frame to be making decisions on my own, which is why, like my previous regret, I wish I had a midwife with me. But the paramedics gave us false advice, had me hold the baby out in front of me, level with my body, wanted me to immediately cut the cord and weren't giving me another option. Thank God for my husband, who delayed tying the cord, which is what I actually wanted. So he is a saint. Thanks so much to him for helping me honor that decision. But the 911 operator, or whatever she is, she just gave us so much false information, so many things that I did not want done. She was telling me and kind of demanding that I did. And then when the paramedics showed up to the house, they immediately came in and just took over in a way that also was completely unnecessary. And they cut the cord themselves quickly without telling us and didn't give my husband the option to cut the cord. So if I could go back, I would not have called paramedics. And I know that probably sounds like really bad of me, but I would have either had a midwife there, or I would have had my husband drive me to the hospital myself, which is only 10 minutes down the road from me. My next biggest regret, number 4, was that I didn't follow through with the things I actually wanted. With each pregnancy and labor, I tell myself, like, I know more of what I'm doing this time. I'm prepared. I'm gonna do what I want. I'm not gonna take the pressure from medical professionals. And again, I took the pressure from medical professionals, and I didn't truly do what I wanted in the moment. This leads me to my 5th biggest regret. Well, for starters, my husband set out the camera because I wanted this birth recorded. I didn't have any births recorded. I didn't want it recorded for posting reasons, but I wanted me birthing a child recorded for my own memories. And I, with the chaos and how hectic everything was with giving birth in my living room, I didn't get a chance to set up the camera, and my husband did, which was so special, and I'm so grateful that he did that. But my biggest regret watching back the footage is that I wasn't prepared to give birth in my living room. I reacted to birth as if it was an emergency situation. Wait, okay, over there. I reacted to the entire situation as if it was this huge emergency, and that is just not my style. People give birth every day. People give birth at home. People do free births. Birth is just such a natural thing. Our bodies know what they're doing, and I get it. Sometimes things can go wrong, and then that is where medical staff come in and are so helpful and so amazing. But after he was here and with me, I was still in this shock and panic, and I feel like I wasn't fully able to be in the moment because I had just delivered him, and I was in this state of mind that I feel like the medical profession puts us in this little bubble that's like, this isn't safe, I don't have any doctors here, you know. So I wasn't in this right state of mind to fully enjoy the moment and let myself relax and enjoy the moment. And I really wish that I would have just sat there and relaxed and held my baby and kissed my husband and just like took everything in the moment. So those are some of the major things that I regret about my home birth, and I would do differently if I had an actual planned home birth in the future. But overall, how can I really complain? It was an amazing experience to have gone through with my husband. It made us so much closer, and we have a very healthy boy out of it. So if anyone has any questions about my accidental home birth, please feel free to leave them below. I wanted to do a Q&A on my son's birth itself, but I just haven't gotten around to asking anyone to leave questions yet. So if there's any questions that you have about my home birth, please leave them down below and I will answer them in the next video. All right, bye guys.